Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
And I'm Eric Stromer.
And we want to give you some easy breezy, fast and fabulous ideas to decorate or redecorate your place. Really easy, really fun.
Things, again, that don't make you anxious. Today, I think the theme of this show today.
No worry.
No worry.
No stress.
No, you don't have to do it now.
I mean,
you just have to think about doing it.
During your week, you feel stressed, don't you?
Yeah.
Do
Who doesn't?
Do you feel a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, school's starting again.
I know.
It's a lot of driving, man. A lot of organizing. If I have to make another lunch, I do. I have to make like 300 lunches again this year.
Yeah.
Which I'd almost rather have them starved to death.
Well, we'll get to, we've talked about using mason jars to have salads in a jar, soups in a jar, sandwiches in a jar.
Can I give you 2 words?
What's that?
3 words, actually.
What's that?
Hot lunch program.
Okay. Well, so let's put the stress of your week, your work week, your family week away, and let's get into some fun, easy decorating projects that are fun, fresh, and fast. So how about this? Artwork. I love the idea of doing something just different to your wall. Not talking about a major painting project. We're talking about just getting some frames. Now, do you have any frames around the house that are just sitting?
I have frames.
That aren't being used?
You know, my dad's a former art dealer. I got nothing but frames.
You've got beautiful gold
leaf frames.
Okay, so I'm not talking about quite anything that fancy. Let's say, because you already have a beautiful room decorated that way. Let's say there's a room, a bathroom, or a side room, didn't have anything going on, and you had
a bare wall, like a horrible guest room.
I'd like you to get some frames. That basically are all white, or you can paint them white, spray paint them white. And then what you would do is in the inner part, in the glass, you would use a little teeny tiny, like, I don't know, anything that you love. Maybe it's a decorative, collectible thing. I love antique postcards.
Sure.
Have you seen great postcards?
I love them.
They look like watercolors for different parts of the country.
Even old family photographs.
Family photos. But the idea is that the picture is floating in the frame itself.
Yes.
It's
so you
not
take
filling.
The back of the thing off, and
so it's clear.
The shadow box is going straight through to the wall color if you want.
Yes. And so the secret is that all of the frame barriers or surrounds are the matching color, so all white or all gold or all black, and then you're taking take the innards out of the frame, so it's just the clear glass, and then you just secure that little smaller piece of art inside. Done.
Yeah.
And now you have a collection.
And I love the light color frames unifies the collection. It tells you subconsciously when you're looking at it that this is meant to be viewed in a group.
Yeah.
Nothing's really individual. It's more of this collection.
Which is calming.
It looks great. Again, I don't feel anxiety right now.
Never. How about wallpapering just one accent wall?
Yeah.
Not a whole major room.
Wallpapering one wall is not an impossible task. And the good news is you don't have to do much prep. If it's an existing flat paint on the wall, it can't be glossy, but if it's flat, then...
Like the foyer.
Like the foyer, you just get the pieces of wallpaper, easy breezy, right? You cut them, you put the glue on the paper and on the wall, keep it wet, as long as all the edges are wet, and it can move a bit before you let it set up, it's easy to work with. You have the concept that it's going to be like your cotton fly paper, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy. You're going from the top of the molding up to the top of the ceiling. One long strip, maybe 2 seams, you're done.
And do we need to clean the wall?
You want to clean it. You want to clean it. You want to make sure that there's no gloss to it. If there is, you can do a light sanding with some 220 grit paper. And then have a nice work area, a good piece of plywood for a work area with some sawhorses right next to where you're going, so you don't have to walk too far with a wet wallpaper.
But how nice would that be?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Just one wall.
And if you're concerned about getting it in exactly the right configuration on the wall itself, you can wallpaper a panel of plywood and then hang that panel with a frame around it.
Well,
right?
and especially maybe if you're renting and afraid that you
take
can't.
it with you for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's some beautiful wallpaper.
There's amazing wallpaper.
Yeah.
Or what about using that wallpaper and using that inside a bookcase or a hutch?
Oh, that's good.
So just against the backing, right?
There. Yeah, absolutely.
So that
and again, if you're concerned about attaching it to the hutch itself, you can get a piece of cardboard, rigid cardboard, cut it to size, make sure that fits first, put the wallpaper on that cardboard, and then put that panel into the back of the hutch. Easy way to do it.
What about this whole idea of creating architectural detailing where you use something as simple as PVC lattice work panels, and you mount this on the wall above the baseboard, and then you top it with a chair rail, and let's say you've painted it white or something, and it looks like this delicate something from Architectural Digest almost.
Yeah, I love this stuff because it's basically PVC lattice that's already sort of in existence, and then you can utilize the wall color behind it, and you're just affixing it to the wall color, so you get the contrast of the white and the blue. It looks like fine detail. And then again, to your point, you put a piece of chair rail, which is just molding above it to frame it in, and then it sits on top of the baseboard. You've got an instant wainscoting transformation that looks like you spent thousands of dollars.
It's really pretty.
Very, very easy
and
to
especially if this whole now little lattice work is a white or a black or a pop that goes against whatever
That's
color.
exactly it. The contrast is is what sells it.
Really looks so fancy and great.
Yeah,
I just love
agree.
that idea. Again, we're talking about things that are affordable, quick, easy, fresh to just decorate to make your place look better. For instance, how about, let's say that you want to have a tablet stand. You have a tablet in your home, in your kitchen, and you want to go through your recipes, and you want to have it just sitting there, to your side on the counter while you're by the stove, or maybe you have an island. Something as simple as you can basically cut a frame or use an existing frame and use this with a stand, so it'll be secure with some clamps, and you can put your tablet right there at the proper angle.
Sure. Yeah, and they sell the iPad tablet stands, and they actually rotate and can be either vertically or horizontal. And then that just sits there on that triangular configuration stand, and then you just have your picture frame
Around
right
it
in front of it
to look decorative.
And then when you need the iPad, you pull it out from the center of the frame. But when it's just sitting there in the kitchen, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs there.
That's right.
Or what about creating some bench seating and dressing up like a dining spot with a little bench seat, and then use an upholstered headboard with the seat height bench to make it look like it was an intended little breakfast nook.
Yeah, that's actually a cute idea. And, you can buy a pre-existing bench. The cushions are the key, right? So cushions on the top of that.
And you can buy cushions.
You can buy cushions. And if you have limited space, the shallow bench is really effective way to kind of create that look and feel.
Yeah.
And to your point, again, creating this upholstered headboard that's going to be the same length or width as that bench that you have. Mm-hmm. You're going to do something as simple as a piece of plywood cut to size to the width of the bench. The batting on top of the plywood, and then your fabric around that, and then staple gun on the back of the plywood, and then that gets hung to the wall. Done. End of story.
I love the idea of because it gives it a very warm and cozy. It's functional.
It's like a quick breakfast nook.
It totally is a breakfast nook. It's instant seating, and I like how it's shallow too. So how do we make sure? Because that bench, it looks like it's barely, I don't know, like 5 to 6 inches deep or so?
Well, that's probably something more along the lines of 12 inches.
Is it a foot deep?
Yeah,
okay.
Probably a foot deep.
It's just a photo illusion.
Yeah.
But you want something to be shallow,
you
right?
want to be able to. You want to make sure you can sit on it. You don't want it just to be like you're slipping off it and hitting the back of your small of your back. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be comfortable.
How about turning a lampshade into a piece of art? Using like a cotton lampshade and drawing almost like your own little kind of a doodle design by using a Clorox bleach pen. And you just kind of scribble like whatever kind of design. You could even write your name or your family crest or whatever it is, flowers, leaves, squiggles, whatever. But you work in sections, and then the design, when the designs turn white, you rinse away the excess bleach in the sink.
Very cute.
And then the shade will dry. It's almost like a tie-dye effect.
That's right. Like batiking.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Or how about making your memo station something that is now a piece of art? You've seen those bulletin boards, the cork bulletin boards that you can buy in the arts and crafts stores, right? It's just just a framed cork board.
Those are great.
Yeah.
And they're $30-$40. You can get them online, all sorts of different places. That like dry erase boards or these cork boards.
Right.
The 3x2 is about $45. Easy to get.
The idea is if you have, and they sell them already pre-made, but why not customize it to what you like? But the key is to get these wall decals that are decorative that you can buy anywhere inexpensively that peel and stick on. And so imagine if you had like a flower or the letter of your last name, and you secure that, tape it if you will, to the cork on to the left corner of the memo board, and now it becomes this decorative station. It's a decorative memo station. So
Love that.
And that will look great, by the way, for back to school time. Why not have that in the kids' rooms?
I don't know why you
know what I
wouldn't.
mean?
You better.
Everyone gets their own.
That's it.
Right?
No fighting.
And what about the corner office? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to transform the smallest corners into a great way to just kind of have like a little desk for workspace and so forth. But first, we have to listen to the Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
Eric
we do.
Stromer, Cindy Dole. You're listening to Home Wizards.
Everybody's smiling, sunshine day. Everybody's laughing,
Ah, yes, we love our music and we love to talk about all things home improvement. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And you're listening to Home Wizards. And so let's say, you wanted to have a little area, a little corner office, and you wanted to do something inexpensively and fast, and you didn't have much space. Well, we talk about how something as simple as, just a little shelf, a teeny tiny shelf. It could be a very narrow shelf.
Yeah, even like 12 inches deep.
That now is your desk, and you would wall mount that how?
Oh man, are you kidding me? You could find studs and drill right through the thing that you're installing, or
Done.
Or you could hang a little one by piece. They call it a ledger.
Oh, sure.
Piece of plywood plugs into that, and then some angular legs that come down and attach lower. Or you could just simply get shelf hanging brackets.
Perfect.
At the big box store for $1.290.
And that's
each.
your office. And then
That's it,
on
done.
top of it, you get one of those boards that are already outfitted with some of these little pockets.
Little pockets, yeah.
To like put your mail in and put
Ingoing,
your
outgoing. It becomes
things.
like a post office.
Yeah, so it's very
setup.
cute, and this is perfect now for getting ready for back to school and for for the kids' study area, right?
So good.
Really
and then,
nice.
And the other thing too is to take this one step further and make an unused closet into an office where you just open the door. Again, you put a ledger around at desk height in the back 3 walls of the closet. Plywood goes on top, 1x2 piece of pine wood in front to keep it rigid, so it's a nice solid desk surface. Same thing, just adorn the interior of that closet with all sorts of cubbies and shelving systems. You close the door, it's gone. You open it up, it's a vital office that things are going on there.
See?
You're making money on the internet. Something's happening in here. I don't know what it is, but it's working.
You're making money on the internet. Let's say that you had a fireplace that wasn't really being used. Maybe you had, it's an old fireplace in a guest room, or maybe it's in the family room, and and it's hot. Darn it, we're not using it now. How about turning it into a storage space that's also decorative? Because this is part of our Fast and Fabulous decorating projects
Yeah.
concept. How do we do it? We're going to fill that nook.
See, and it can also be, a lot of times fireplaces just simply aren't used, and people just get the screen and they close it, and it's never used. No one cares. Fireplaces are designed in homes to be focal points. Why not, if you're not going to use it as a fireplace, why not just close the flue and then create some shelving within the fireplace box? Take out all your wood, obviously. Put a couple of shelves along on either side, or even an existing bookcase that fits in that little nook. And then throw some shelving in and some tchotchkes and things that you want to feature.
Even wallpaper, right?
Even wallpaper against the back wall. You got an instant display case. It looks like a beautiful little jewel case in a retail store.
And this could also be a solution for your media storage, because all of us are facing that, right? You have all of these movies that you love, right? Music that you
Sure,
love. I mean,
yeah.
maybe you have it all in your computer and it's all just digital, but I bet you still have some physical copies of movies and songs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You're talking about my Foghat concert video.
Or, Buns of Steel.
Buns of
I'm
Steel.
just saying,
Hello.
you might have that.
Well, thank you.
And you put that there. And
That's
I
where
mean,
it goes.
it's a nice decorative.
Who doesn't want to do an occasional jazzercise tape? I know I do.
How
I
about-
just do it to put the leg warmers back on. Again, finally.
And the headband. You
Yep,
got to have the
yep.
headband, How about a little bit of unexpected, too? Plain furniture is a blank canvas that wants some kind of decorative thing. For pieces and legs like desks and chairs and consoles, you go for a dip-dyed effect.
Yes,
Do you love that idea?
I do.
So what that means is you're just painting the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're leaving the
Feet of the
feet
table.
exposed. Maybe that's wood, and then everything above it is painted.
Yeah.
Either way, it just has that feeling that half of it is. We see this with kitchen utensils a lot.
Yes.
They'll dip the handles
spoon.
in a vibrant pink or blue color, and then the top is wood. The part
Right.
that touches the food.
It's very fancy
It
right
just
now.
It just gives it a little look. So it's the same concept, but doing it with a piece of furniture.
Yeah. So, and all you do is use some painter's tape to mask off the area.
Yeah.
Right? So you have a
And then
nice...
spray the heck out of the rest of it, and you got yourself that dip look.
I love it.
I do too.
How about also if you had a tired piece of furniture and you wanted to give it a new kind of a facelift, so So this is something that's fast and easy to redecorate your place. Or maybe you didn't even have the furniture. You found something at a flea market or garage sale.
Yeah.
But it's some good bones. It could be now it's a charming desk that was a vanity. But after the mirror is removed, now the table, you sand it, prime it, paint it, and maybe even take some pretty papers that are decoupaged onto the drawer
On the
fronts.
face of the drawers.
And then
Yeah.
some new decorative little snazzy knobs.
Snazzy new knobs. And
Yeah.
boy, you know where they sell great knobs?
Oh,
Restoration Hardware. No, there too, but Anthropology. You ever
Yep.
seen those?
Yeah.
And they don't have to all match. They've got that old sort of 40s, 50s vintage stuff. Oh, gorgeous.
and they have a lot of heft to them too,
A lot of heft,
which
yeah.
really feels
and
good,
that,
right?
If you bedazzle and bejewel your garage sale piece that you've decoupaged the drawers on, it's going to look like a really expensive
really neat.
piece.
Yeah. How about turning a dining display? Think outside the box. Let's say in the dining room you have this like a standard hutch or a china cabinet, but you could hang a pair of bookcases horizontally on the wall and then slide a third on the floor below. And this is now where you show off your dinnerware and your serving pieces and maybe some of your spare little vases and decorative things. It could even, part of it can become a little mobile bar.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And boy, I'll tell you, with this new mulled cocktail craze that's going on, where you're is it
Oh, I say muddling.
muddling with crushing the fruits
Sure.
and making
Like a mojito and that kind of a thing. You take the mint
You
and
definitely need a classic bar setup. You got to have a place where you can have your.
Otherwise, you're going to be saying in the garage muddling? No,
yeah,
no.
forget it. Terrible.
I want to see you on display. I want you to
I
see.
want you watch me work, baby doll,
Exactly.
like Tom Cruise in
In
Cocktail.
Cocktail, okay.
Am I right?
How about if you want to have another piece of furniture that you want to decorate and turn your space into something fun just today? Make your own mirror-covered furniture just for a cost of what you might see in some of the stores. Let's say you find a dresser or a desk or a table.
Yeah.
And you freshen it up with a coat of paint, and then you have a hardware store cut the mirror
That's it.
to fit the drawer fronts.
By the way,
best
best way to do this is to take the drawers in and
Okay.
have the glass guy.
Because I love the mirror
measure the-
drawers.
Yeah, and then you can get a thin piece of glass, the 1/4 inch stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then all you have to do is
Just
spray
glue it?
adhesive,
Spray adhesive.
or any like Gorilla Glue, something that holds mirror solid.
And you're gonna-
And then what happens? The knobs, when you reattach them, that'll hold the mirror on the drawer, and you won't have to worry about it ever coming off, right?
So hang on a minute. We're not going to drill through the mirror.
Oh yeah,
we are.
You're going to have the glass guy do it.
So the glass guy's
The
going to
glass
not
guy
only
can
cut
do
the
it.
glass,
Yeah.
but he's going to drill
That's
the holes.
why you want to bring the drawers fronts with you.
And take
right?
just take one drawer is good enough.
well, if they're all no,
Take all of them.
I'd like you to take them
and
all.
he'll do it all right there.
Yes, he will.
Oh my gosh.
Because those guys are just sitting dead in the water when they're not hanging mirror in your house.
I mean,
So
how often are they hanging mirror? They aren't. They need work.
They need
I
to
love
do the
this
drawer
idea,
fronts.
and I think that looks so pretty, especially in a bedroom. It has kind of a vintage, old Hollywood
Sure
look,
does.
right? Very
Yeah.
glamorous to have a dresser. And so think about this: as you're now going to garage sales or antique shopping or whatever, you want to find one of these great pieces of furniture, and you know
Yeah.
what you're going to do. You're going to take the drawers to your glass guy
And do
I mean,
it.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
How much is that going to cost to get that glass?
Oh, come on, nothing.
Like
Pieces,
maybe-
they're cutting it off of spare pieces, so
Like maybe $100?
No, are you? What
Really?
are you crazy? What are you nuts? No,
Really?
no.
Cheaper than that?
Yes, maybe 50, maybe.
Oh, and for the drilling and everything.
Listen, you give the guy $50 cash, you can't believe what's going to happen with mirror.
And will I have the beveled edges?
If they have left over, that'll be
want-
a little more difficult.
I want the
actually.
bevel.
I know you do. So that might be a little more expensive. Yeah.
Remember, I like diamonds, not
I know
cubic
what you
zirconia. I'm a
like.
little, I know.
By the way, the other night at the Glendale Galleria, when I was dropping my kid off, I saw your favorite store, the jewelry store, the Tiffany with the color.
I know.
I thought
know.
of you. I
Oh,
thought,
thanks. Yeah, you didn't go in though,
well,
did you?
heck no, you kidding me? I
Just
tried
thought
to
of it.
avoid it at all costs.
Anyway, we'll
I
put
get
all these
convinced-
ideas.
I might be persuaded to buy a little piece of jewelry.
At least a
also.
keychain, for goodness
You know,
sakes.
come on.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, you can always check us out at yourhomewizards.com. And until next time, remember this: the key is under the mat. Bye-bye.
I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought.